Greetings, folks. I'm Josh Williams.
And I'm Fred Miner from Peregrine Safe and Ready.
That's Josh Williams from the GeneseeSun.com.
You bet it is.
Local news that lights the region, folks. So we're, excuse me, I have a cough, so if I have to turn to the side cough, I apologize for that. 'Tis the season, Fred.
Well, I'm thinking, Josh, you'll probably turn more of it over to me today that way because, I don't tend to ramble on too long normally.
I try and do my best in keeping you roped in. So.
Yeah, I know.
So it's too bad we didn't just broadcast our conversation that we just had. There's a lot of things going on in Livingston County. We had the Tom Doherty swearing in, this Sheriff Tom Doherty being sworn in this past Friday. Wonderful ceremony. Every hot shot in Livingston County except for Fred.
That's because I live at the south edge. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, every hot shot in Livingston County was there, and it was, you could really see the new chairman of the Board of Supervisors was there, Mr. Eric Gott from Livonia. It was just a thrilling evening to see young, energetic leaders on the stage. And
the hope is that we're going to get some real change and move things in a very positive direction going forward.
We're going to see what happens, and that was sort of what my editorial is about, Fred. We talked about, political landscape and things being so connected, and the power of people being like, it's a spider web.
Oh, it's incredible.
And I'm working on something I can't talk about as of yet. We'll just put it out there like there. But what I'm seeing,
I'm converting Josh into a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, but we'll see how it all plays out.
This is a crazy conspiracy theory. This could be, but I'm getting close. So stay tuned. Fred.
It's exciting.
But it's a spider web with everything connected, Fred.
And for our listeners, and I don't know what our numbers are up to now, Josh, but we're getting some really good investigative reporting here. Josh is doing his homework and going into the background of things, and I have a feeling that Genesee Sun is going to be big in the news as things go forward. This is what he's doing is the kind of investigative work that needs to be done, and that a lot of our mainstream press seems to have abandoned.
It has. I mean, Bob Lonsberry, who I listen to every now and then, he's talking about, he uncovered the new mayor of Rochester, her husband had a criminal history.
Which my mother-in-law was just talking to me about this morning as well. Yeah, we've got a new mayor in Rochester whose husband, as a youthful offender, was part of a major jewelry store heist.
$1 million, armed robbery, getaway car.
Unbelievable.
The whole thing. And the DNC up there, the Democrat in Crapical, didn't find this out. And they wrote a story on this robbery.
Or did they know about it and suppress it until after the election?
So
who knows?
I always believe that the press is the safeguard of it all. Without press, people have carte blanche to do whatever they want. It can become a Russian dictator, Iraq. Without having a free press,
we need a free press, and we need a free press who's committed to the truth, regardless of where that leads them. And one of the things that I see, Josh, that, here we sit in Geneseo, we've got a pretty good school of journalism right at the campus that we can see out your front window. But so many people come out of journalism school with preconceived notions, and instead of looking for truth wherever they find it, they look for things to back up those preconceived notions. And that's where I think we have some
justice in the American way.
Yeah, you can't go into investigative reporting as an ideologue. You have to be able to accept whatever you find.
Now, the one thing I have to say about this Sheriff Doherty, since he's come on board, already seeing visibility, seeing lots of press releases. We're seeing interaction with the community. We're seeing them incorporate that. So we're off on the right foot here. They got another big drug bust that's going on. So in Livingston County, we're seeing a lot of things. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly that web connects itself, if it hasn't already. It very well could be. How that web sort of reconnects, because they've taken out all these big key elements and they put new ones in.
Yeah.
So my hunch is that it's probably pretty well connected already, but I think it's got a different goal. I think I'm really excited about our new leaders here at the county level, but this is only the county level. And we're talking about this. When you get to the state level, let's go the next level up, New York State Assembly.
Crazy. Well, just look, we had a big ethical investigation a while ago, mostly downstaters in the New York City and boroughs. But
have you ever been to New York?
Hate it. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't see you walking around New York City, people bumping into you, and you're like,
you know what's funny? The first time I went to New York City, there's a real side trail here. We were downtown Manhattan. I worked for Corning Incorporated at the time. We had a downtown sales office right in Manhattan.
You say Manhattan like a redneck.
And one of the fellas whose daughter lived down there, older guy, was taking me around. They said, just stick with Dick. He'll take you to, see the sights, and you won't get lost. He knows his way around and everything. And this guy was absolutely enthralled with the city, and we went to cathedrals and big stores and different stuff. And then he wanted to, in his words, have a libation. And we went in this little classic New York City drink, which at the time, all I had was ginger ale. But it was one of those half a flight downstairs off the street level.
Yeah.
And there was some psycho in there that wanted to kill everybody in the world. And this was, talk about live to my stereotype vision of New York City. Here's this nut job that belonged in Bellevue that was, saying that God is dead and he wanted to kill everybody in the bar. So
how'd that work out?
We left. I kept an eye on the guy and didn't let him get behind me. And as quick as we could, we got out of the place. But I don't like that level of crowding. I'm not a big fan of urbanization at all. I've lived my entire life out in a rural district, and I want to keep it that way.
Speaking of that, because we're jumping around, we're flowing. How's the obstacle course coming along?
Well, it's with this weather that we've had, it's a little bit tough to go out with the snow and the ice and run through the jumps and everything. So I've been doing my workouts indoors, as I assume you have too.
I have. I've been hitting the rollers on the bike, running on the treadmill as well, and just doing push-ups and sit-ups and stuff. But I got this damn bug.
Yeah, well, keep it. I don't want it.
Right.
I got the good news today that I have an abscess and have to have a root canal in a few days. So
maybe I guess put a tracking device.
Maybe they'll put a tracking device in, or maybe I'll stop hearing the voices once they get that filling out. Right? Okay, well, we got to get this under control, Josh. Or today's going to be a real
this is great
off the wall one.
Yeah, a little late for that, Brett.
Yeah.
So let's talk about self-defense. What's going on? I know you've been doing some work. I saw a video of you getting kicked in the groin.
Yeah, that was kind of cute, wasn't it? With a little girl that came to one of our ladies equalizer classes. Dave Jenkins has been working feverishly at the Buell Road facility to get that place up and running, and they actually had their first class on site there yesterday. And so that's going to be the new permanent home of all of the classroom teaching for Rochester Personal Defense. And my hope and plan is that as 2014 unfolds, I'll be doing quite a bit of instructing up there. Dave's also made it open to me to use for personal training, so that if I get folks at the north end of Livingston County or that area of Rochester that want to come in and we can do some fitness training, kettlebell, whatever they want to do, that's going to work out well for me.
Sounds like a remote show.
I wanted to talk to you about that, but I was going to wait till we were off air. But yeah, I think we need to do a couple.
Okay, done. Let's do it.
We need to do a couple.
All right. Well, you can watch that video. I saw the video on Facebook, on Fred's Facebook page.
If you friend me on Facebook and then just scroll back through my timeline, you'll find it. It was a teenage girl that came to the class, and she was a very shy, not an assertive person, and she came out of her shell, and I think that was the third round that we did when I was in the suit. She came out with a nice palm strike to the face and followed up with a kick to the groin. So that's what we're looking for.
Well, you can watch on his Facebook page, Fred from Peregrine Safe and Ready.
Yep.
I'm Josh Williams. We'll actually have some topics next week.
Oh, we've got plenty of things of substance to cover, and I have no doubt that this is going to unfold into a major break.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I hope we've whetted your appetite, but I think I'm going to end up being Josh's bodyguard before all this is done.
This goes to the top.
It may be a possibility.
So there's no higher level here that we're talking about. Just to put that out here. So have a safe week, everyone. Once again, I'm Josh Williams from GeneseeSun.com and
Fred Miner for Peregrine Safe and Ready. See you soon.